What's going on, Beamer fans? Welcome back to Beamerview. For today's video, we're going to be going over the BMW break-in period. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, Beamerview, what we do here is teach you everything there is to know about BMWs. We go over all the features, hidden tips and tricks. So do yourself a favor, subscribe to this channel because we put out content every single week. Before we get started, check out these really cool BMW car mats. They are linked right down below. The links are going to be in the description, and I will be putting them in the top comments right down below. So definitely check that out at the end of the video. So yes, everyone, today we're going to be going over the break-in period and why this is super important. This is going to be a video that you really want to pay attention to if your vehicle is coming brand new to you with, say, for example, 0 to 12 miles on the odometer. So definitely make sure you pay attention to this whole video because this is going to be very important to maintain the life of your BMW and make sure it runs smooth throughout the course of your ownership. Now, the question is, what is the BMW break-in period? Why does this matter to me? And why do I have to follow the instructions for it? Now, many people are going to be questioning why this is such an important period to talk about at the beginning of getting a brand new BMW. The BMW break-in period, and this is the same for all types of brands too, but of course, we're going to be going over more things on the BMW side. So the BMW break-in period is a very important topic. What this is going to be in regards to how you drive your vehicle the first 1,200 miles of owning it. This is going to be extremely important for the people who own M vehicles. True M vehicles must be doing this no matter what. The reason why this is important is to make sure that your main engine components, things such as pistons, rings, transmission gears, differentials, etc., were in properly. Some of the things that you should do on your first 1,200 miles of owning your BMW is to make sure you go at a nice steady pace and gradually increase the power as you get closer to that 1,200 mile period. Some of the things you should not be doing is going full wide open throttle, also known as mashing the gas or accelerator all the way down and pushing your engine a little bit too hard. For BMW M cars, you should not be exceeding the engine RPM above 5,500 RPM. For non-M cars, you typically want to keep it below 4,500 or 5,000 RPM. You typically want to keep your BMW for the first 1,200 miles below 100 miles per hour or 160 kilometers. You should also avoid holding one speed for a long period of time, such as cruising at 80 miles per hour on the highway for 2 hours straight. You also do not want to brake too hard or do launch control. Yes, many BMWs do have launch control. You really want to avoid this for the first 1,200 miles. Gradually use your brake. Do not brake too hard unless you really have to for emergency purposes. But the reason why you want to do this is so that the brake pads and rotors can bed in. If you are somebody who uses cruise control a lot, for the first 1,200 miles, you want to avoid using this a whole lot. Again, because then that would keep the speed at a constant, which is something you generally want to try to avoid. These are the things that you shouldn't be doing while you're on the break-in period. Some of the things you should be doing though, however, is make sure you're driving through all different gears. You want to keep the speed at a variable level, so you're basically doing mixed driving conditions. Another big one to mention is to make sure your engine temperature is going to be at a good medium level. Do not try to drive the engine at a cold level, or I should say, do not try to push the engine while it's cold. Again, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is super crucial for BMW M cars. Many would question, why is this a really important thing to consider? What this does is ensure long-term engine reliability. It prevents premature wear on internal parts. It also helps maintain fuel efficiency and performance over time. For M cars, this is going to be a really important thing because if you do not follow the break-in period instructions for the M cars, you will void the warranty. Now, let's go over the difference between a regular BMW and a M car. Regular BMWs, you do not have to worry a whole lot. Yes, you do want to keep it quite steady for the first 1,200 miles. Try not to floor the vehicle unless you absolutely have to for emergency purposes. But yes, for regular BMWs, just follow a good steady pace with good mixing driving conditions. For the M cars, it is going to be working a little bit differently. So I myself also have a M car. I had to do a break-in service, which did include a different direction on how things went. If you have a real M car, cars such as the M2, M3, M4, M5, M8, those are going to have to be brought to service right before the 1,200 mile mark in order to get a few fluids changed. Some of the things that are going to be changed is things like the engine oil and the filter. They are also going to be changing out the rear differential fluid, and they're also going to be checking the transmission fluid as well. Once you do this, then a owner with the BMW M vehicle is going to have full power for their BMW. It is going to allow things like you being able to do launch control and it is going to increase the rev limiter by just a little bit more. If you do not do this break-in service for a BMW M car, you will void the warranty. The oil that is in the vehicle is not designed to go at really quick speeds. The oil that came with the vehicle from the factory whenever the vehicle was created is solely meant to make sure that the engine is running cleanly, to make sure that the engine runs smoothly. It is also a type of fluid that can help pick out engine shavings and whatnot to make sure there's no debris in the engine and to make sure that the vehicle performs as it should. If you use this oil, if you use the specific oil that was put into the vehicle from the factory and you completely skip that 1,200 mile service, again, this is for the M cars only, then yes, you are going to be voiding the warranty. You're going to cause huge damage to the engine, and it is something that you definitely do not want to happen to your vehicle. One thing I would recommend, you could do this for all BMWs too, is that each BMW would have different drive modes. I'm sure you already know by now that BMWs do have their different drive modes. I do have a BMW M vehicle, so my modes are going to be a little bit different, but if I were to go into setup, you're going to see a few different things pop up. Again, this is not going to be the same for all BMWs. This is for the M vehicles only, but essentially you could be doing the same thing if you have a non-M vehicle as well. BMWs have a efficient mode, they have a sport mode, and then they have a sport plus mode. What I typically found that works the best, what the car likes the best, is a variation of all three of these. When I had my BMW for the first 0 or 12 miles, I was told that not only should I drive the vehicle at a nice steady pace, but also the fact that I should just keep it in efficient and keep my transmission sensitivity here on level 1, which is going to be the softest transmission shifts. So for the first 300 miles, I kept it pretty slow. I kept it all inefficient. For the next 300 miles, I bumped things up into sport. So for that whole period of time, I was driving the vehicle in sport. So from mileage 300 to 600, I kept it in sport. I bumped this guy up to level 2 for the shifting to be more aggressive. But yes, for your BMW, you could potentially drive in sport. Then going from miles 600 to 900, I still kept things in sport, but I did go ahead and bump this up to the level 3. You can go into Sport Plus if you have a non-M vehicle. If you have a M vehicle, you're going to notice that whenever you do go into Sport Plus, that the engine RPMs do hold quite high. So you could occasionally do that for the last 300 miles if that is what makes you happy. But I personally just like to keep it in sport. The only change I made for the last 300 miles was the fact that I just bumped this up to level 3 for the transmission shifts for the most aggressive setting. So by doing that, your BMW would get a good variation on all different types of engine speeds, which is good for the vehicle because then you're going to have that mix of going really slow, going really fast, which will make your engine break-in period much more successful. For non-M vehicles, this is not going to be too much to worry about. For BMW owners that do have M vehicles, you should really pay attention to this. If you do have a non-M vehicle, I would still somewhat pay attention to this because it does kind of apply for all vehicles in general. Just to make sure, especially if you do plan on keeping your BMW for a very long time, you do want to take it quite easy for the first 1,200 miles in order to make sure that your engine runs efficiently throughout the course of the ownership. So yes, everyone, the break-in period is very important. Make sure you do this process properly. You only get one shot at it, and it could make a huge difference in the ownership of owning your BMW. Definitely do this if you're going to be owning the BMW for a very long time. Very crucial. It'll just prevent any problems along the way. Don't forget to check out the links right down below. We will be putting out content every week, so definitely subscribe to this channel. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Have a great day. Definitely respond back with a comment if you guys have any. I would be more than happy to answer those. Take care. Have a great day, and I will see you all for the next one.